Welcome to Coffee with Robin. This is, I believe, our third Kickstarter original TV talk show for the Kickstarter campaign of Operation Candlelight. We're delighted that you came to join us this afternoon for a cup of Java. Okay, everybody, so here's where we are at in our Kickstarter campaign. There are 10 days to go. The last day is November 14th at, I believe, 4:53 in the afternoon when our Kickstarter campaign is officially finished. And we have to be fully funded by that time or we get nothing. Chas v'shalom, God forbid. So that's $36,000, God willing, by 4:53 a week from Thursday, November 14th. So please get your pledges in. Now, the easiest way to access our Kickstarter page, there are two easy ways. One is to go to our website, kolneshama.org, KOLNESHAMA.org. And right there, blaring on that homepage, you will see the link and portal to our Kickstarter page. Otherwise, you can go to Kickstarter and in the search put in Operation Candlelight, and there we are. Now remember, Kickstarter is not about making donations, unless of course you want to, and that is your choice, but it's really about pledges for fantastic rewards. For example, we will be having our premieres, and we have officially announced the premieres of Operation Candlelight. They will be, God willing, March 9th in Los Angeles, March 11th in New York, and March 17th in Jerusalem. If you are planning to attend any of these premieres, buy your tickets through us on Kickstarter and help us finish the film and get some fabulous goodies exclusive to our Kickstarter page, like the first run special edition DVD of Operation Candlelight, or a really cool Operation Candlelight t-shirt, or even better yet, our really stunningly beautiful Operation Candlelight movie poster that will be designed by Menachem Krinsky. And I think that's actually the perfect segue into our special guest, we are delighted to have with us this afternoon in the studio. Now we can call her Mrs. Rivka Siegel Krinsky.
Either or.
Everybody will recognize, all of our audience. Thank you. Welcome, Rivka, to the show.
Thank you.
It is wonderful to see you here today.
It's wonderful to see you.
Thank you. Thank you. And I know we have a lot of people in the audience who will see this webcast and recognize you from our first two films, A Light for Grey Towers, where Rivka played the part of Anya Aronovich, the mother of Miriam, and of course from The Heart That Sings, where she played Miriam Bogan, the young broken-hearted orphan from the Holocaust who was beginning her life again. So we know there are a lot of questions that have come in. Why don't we just start with saying, now, some big things happened for you this past year. Would you like to share any of that with us, with our audience?
What are we referring to?
Well, I think, let's see, one is maybe that, Rivka became, yes, exactly.
I got married.
Yay,
So
Mazel
that was
Tov! And she was an amazingly beautiful Kala, I have to say. We have, over here, we have Chaya Salika Garbose, who's here manning the chat room.
Do you write parts in your films with specific actresses in mind?
Oh, that's a great question, Hadass. I do, in fact. And it's not necessarily how I will cast the film, but when I'm writing, I always have people in mind. And certainly for The Heart That Sings, when I set to work on that script, I had, I just imagined Rivka from the beginning, and got to see that actualized in such a wonderful way. So yeah, I often do. And even though casting doesn't necessarily go that way, I need to have a three-dimensional image of a person when I write, and it really helps me develop the characters. What else? Let's hear one for Rivka.
For Rivka, mostly from a DOS board, for your first film, A Light for Grey Towers, was filmed 10 years ago. How do you think you've changed since then?
Ooh, actually, it was 9 years ago.
Well, I've aged 9 years, so there's that. How have I changed? I guess I've developed as an actress, possibly, hopefully. Well, it's funny because that character, Anya, was probably the oldest character I've played, and then as I got older, I played younger characters.
Right.
So hopefully that's a good sign.
Yeah, but we aged you as Anya, because in the very beginning, in the prologue, you really were 18.
Right.
You know, a young mother, and then we see you 12 years later. So you really aged from 18 to 30. And we did have one thing that helped us with that aging process, which was that Anya wasn't well.
Right, for sure. Yeah, and it's easier to age somebody than to make them look younger, probably. Maybe.
It's true. Well,
So
it's interesting.
plastic surgery, but we weren't going that route.
Yes, right.
So how have I developed? Well, I've definitely gotten more comfortable, like being on set and acting in front of the camera, and like being able to get in and out of character more easily, and just exploring like different characters to help me grow as an actress, I think. I hope.
Absolutely, absolutely. And what about also, interesting, our audience should know that you've also really discovered within those 9 years another creative side to yourself.
Well, I started painting in college, so that was, if that's what you're referring to.
It is.
So it's definitely another creative outlet that's helped me like be able to explore different emotions, which you need with acting also, obviously.
How did that happen?
The painting thing, I went to Stern College, and I was trying to figure out what my major was going to be, and I was going back and forth between a few things in my freshman year, and I just took a painting class like as an elective, and I loved it, and I started taking a few more painting classes, and started thinking about changing my major to an arts major, and that's what I did, and I've been like obsessed ever since.
Oh, and Rivka's work is stunning. It's so beautiful. It's so evocative. I mean, it's maybe you could tell us your website so people could have a look.
Yeah, absolutely. It's rivkasiegel.com. That's RIVKASIEGEL.com.
And you started a new project. I heard that's really
a new project. They actually are presenting that painting I told you about.
Yes.
Any second, hopefully.
So maybe you could announce it here. We're not giving it away anymore.
Yeah, I don't know if they actually gave it to him yet, but I'm sure there's like the Shyness is happening now.
Right.
The Chabad convention. And they had a guest speaker, Senator Joe Lieberman. So I started this new project with my husband where like there's a new website. It's called paintmymoment.com, and you can upload your photo of you getting $1 from the Lubavitch Rebbe, which is kind of a thing within Chabad. It's like it's your special moment with the Rebbe. People can upload their photographs, and then I paint it and send it off to them within 4 weeks. And
wonderful.
So I just did one for Joe Lieberman. So you should be getting it. It's a gift for like an honor for we're honoring him at this big convention just now. So
beautiful, and the photograph is also with his wife Hadassah,
and,
right?
Yeah, and their baby. I'm not sure which baby it was, but
wow.
There's a baby. So it was a while back. Yeah.
So it's beautiful, and they're presenting it right now in front of thousands of people. So hopefully this will kick off, the success of your website, and we're sure that Hadassah, who is a personal friend of mine and Levi's, she grew up with my husband, Levi Garbose. I'm sure Hadassah is going to love the whole connection that, our actress, painted this wonderful picture for her, painting for her. I would love for you to share, if you would. Now, after, thank God The Heart That Sings was a big success, and it's played all over the world. Our second feature movie musical intended for women and girls that we were successful. We had a successful Kickstarter campaign for it in the year 2011. and it's since played a number of film festivals and really screened throughout the English-speaking and Hebrew-speaking world, and is in worldwide distribution right now, and the DVDs have been selling wonderfully. So consequently, I think that's kind of, been interesting for your life, and there have been some stories of you going around in different communities and people recognizing you.
Yeah.
And I would love for you to share maybe one of those stories with us.
There's so many. I don't know. It's really funny. I'll just see like people staring at me, mostly little girls around age 9 usually, who will be like staring and pointing and whispering, and then like one of them will get up the nerve to like come say, "Oh my God, are you Rivka Siegel? Were you in The Heart That Sings?" And they're really excited, and so it's really cute. Mostly in Crown Heights and Israel. I got it a lot in Israel. It was like crazy having Israelis like swarm you in Spa, in Bad Ayin, Jerusalem, like literally all the time. And like just there's really funny stories. I don't know, I was on the train once in New York, like on the subway, and this woman, I see this woman like looking at me from like a different from across, like she was sitting a little further down, and she's like looking at me, and then she's talking to her friend, and then she's looking back at me, and then she's like, she comes over to me, and I was with somebody else, so it was like, okay, she comes over to me, she's like, "Do you want some gum?" And I was like, "No, thanks." And then she's like, "Were you in The Heart That Sings?" And I was like, "Yeah, hi. Oh my God, I loved it." It was really cute. It was like a little segue. So, but
It's wonderful. It's wonderful. And we've gotten such wonderful feedback of so many women feeling like their story was told with that film.
wow.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Now,
There's a question back.
okay, from who?
Candy.
From Candy, our makeup artist extraordinaire.
So this one's for Rivka, and it says, "How do you think this film will influence young girls? What message will they be able to take away from it?"
Ooh, that's an interesting question.
Maybe I should see the film first before I answer that. I would love to see the film. Well, in general, I think most of Robin's films are about women being able to like hold on to what they believe in. Like with The Light for Grey Towers, we saw that. With The Heart That Sings, right? And especially with this movie, where it's like figuring out like what is important in your life, and the theme across the board here is obviously Judaism and being connected to your roots. And I think holding on to that in whatever circumstances, or reconnecting with that, or you can elaborate because it's really
Wonderful. I mean, I think that's very true, and I think also that every girl, as we have the tag on the poster, every girl deserves a chance to shine. That everybody has strengths that aren't necessarily obvious when you first meet them, and in fact, you may think very negatively or underestimate people. And so it's about a group of girls who discover something heroic inside of them that they never knew existed. And I believe that potential is true for every girl. And I think that's really the message that we'd like to get across.
And even in your camps, that's kind of point, I guess, for every girl to discover what talents they have and, really figure out how they can shine in their own way. So.
That's right. And now I remember you saying, maybe you'll talk a little bit about how when you began acting, there were certain challenges you had in your own life that acting really helped you with, or...
I think I'm still a quiet person, but not as quiet. I used to be a lot more painfully shy, and I think with acting, it forces you to put yourself out there, even if you're just putting a character out there that's not really you, so it's a little easier in that sense. But yeah, I think it really helped me like break through with shyness and just being more confident in myself.
Do you remember the first time you were on stage?
Yeah, with the Coachman play,
Yes.
Yeah, I was in 8th grade and I was wearing a beard, so I'm not sure if that helps with my confidence. But yeah, I remember. Stage is very different from film for me. I'm sure for everyone, but like being on stage, you're really like you're staying in that character, except for when when the lights go out. But it's much easier to just stay in the character for an extended period of time. than to like come in and out of it really abruptly, like with films, which is what you do when there's like cameras
That's right.
and starting. But,
And so talk a little bit now, if you would, about Operation Candlelight and that,
it was really fun. I was so excited and happy to be like back on set. Ugh, it's like the best. And the vibe was amazing. Like it was really like everyone was so positive. The girls were like, I didn't get to spend that much time with the girls who were in the camp, but like the few days that I was there and got to know them a little bit, like I just loved the energy. Like everyone was so upbeat and positive and like excited and happy to be there. Everyone was like helping with whatever they could. Like even the crew especially was like amazing. Just like we were on set one night really late at the Marquis house, and the makeup artists and like the hairstylist and like it was really late and they knew everyone was hungry, so they had some downtime, so they just like went and got some groceries and started making everyone little snacks and like
unbelievable.
It wasn't like part of their job, you know?
It wasn't part of their job at all, and
it was so great. It was so like fun to be a part
unbelievably
of.
beautiful.
Yeah, I had a great time. Like it was great.
It's funny, and I turned to Rivka after that because, you know, with this character, with Operation Candlelight, the main characters are all girls. So the supporting cast are adults, but we felt, you know, unlike The Heart That Sings, where Rivka was on set every single day for the entire shoot, we only had a few days with her, and it was. I turned to her afterwards and I said, this is too short. We can't do this. We have to, next time we have to have you for the entire shoot again. It's, because exactly, it was really, it's something to be said with working with the same people also over and over. Because you know each other, you know how each other works, and so it just it becomes, it cooks, you know, it's clockwork.
Totally.
It
was like even at one point when we were doing the kidnap, like where we were being held at gunpoint, like with one of my, not with High School Go, with my other daughter, Alex. No, not Alex.
Yeah, Alex.
Yeah, Alex, sorry.
Played by Risa Freeman.
Yeah, she was amazing. They were all
who was
amazing.
completely amazing.
So I was like trying to get into character, you know, there were a million people like doing a million things, and like Robin's very busy with a million things and everyone's busy, and so like I was trying to like get into character with Risa. We're sitting on the floor and like trying to be like petrified, you know? And just like I knew at any second the cameras were gonna roll, so like you need to already be there. And then I see like out of the corner of my eye, Robin like all of a sudden you just like notice that I was trying to get into character, and they're like, oh, okay, everybody, shh, like everyone, okay, wait. Like I was getting into character. Everyone like calm down. It was really funny.
You need to have, it was a really intense scene, and I have to say she really nailed it emotionally, as did Risa. It's a really hard scene you have to be able to depict convincingly, and but a really fun, you know, really a fun challenge. And good. Do we have any other questions from the chat room?
Okay, so for you, what is it like to see young girls blossom into women and formidable actresses? Do you really notice a change in their artistic skills and expression?
That's a great question. Another one from Hadass Forgi. It's a thrill. It really is. It's why we do what we do, because I've seen so many things over the years. We're about to, this coming summer 2014 will be our 15th summer of Kol Neshama. Our 15th summer of Kol Neshama. And over these years, I've had the privilege of seeing young women come in one way and discover things about themselves and make certain connections in terms of their talent as young budding artists, and go off and do amazing things. So it's the real deal. It's really a great opportunity, and I think also to see the girls find a way to express their spiritual nature creatively is really beautiful, and take these ideas and these skills back into their own communities. And now so many girls that I knew from the time they were 10 or 12 are now married and have children, and you know are doing plays and making films and creating beautiful things in their community. So Rivka Siegel, what's your plan for this year? Where are you headed? Where do you want to be? Maybe talk a little bit. Also, your husband is somebody who's an incredibly talented graphic artist, and what seems so interesting is how you two are working together as artists, and how has that been?
No, it's great. Menachem is much better with like business than I am, which is great for any artist. He's a designer, and we actually met through one of my paintings because he saw it somewhere and figured out who the artist was, and we ended up getting married. No, thank God. So yeah, he's really talented, and I work with him on certain projects, and he definitely helps me a lot with my work, and it's great.
Isn't it wonderful to have a partner who...
You have the same thing.
It is. Yeah. It's an amazing thing to have a partner that you work with and who understands you in those ways and really helps you grow.
Yeah, no, he's amazing.
Because I saw when he spoke about your website, he had this whole vision of what it could be, and you see that through partnership, both of you can really become greater than you were alone.
Yeah, he's always like trying to motivate me to do more and get better, and that's good.
That's great.
He's really good.
Wonderful. Yeah. Well, we wish you, it should be a great year, a year of Hatzlacha, and more, just in both your painting as well as your acting, and I look forward to having you in my next film, God willing. It should be soon, and hopefully in The Spark, as well as the next film that we shoot, with Kol Neshama. And it's been wonderful having you here. It's
glad to be here.
Good. And so Rivka will be at our premiere in Los Angeles, we hope, and also maybe the one in New York.
The day before my birthday.
Oh, there we go. Thanks for telling us that now.
Yeah.
Good. So again, the premiere dates are March 9th in Los Angeles, March 11th in New York, and March 17th in Jerusalem. Without further ado, live from Dubscape Studios in Los Angeles, from the other side of the Mechitza, it's the newest musical sensation, Rebbe Dog.
Woohoo! How do you do? What am I supposed to say? It's a great pleasure being here. I just want to say today is the first day of Rosh Chodesh. Rosh Chodesh Kislev is an auspicious day designed by Hasidim for feast and thanksgiving, and Hasidic for commemorating the Rebbe's recovery from his illness in 1977.
Wow.
So it was a wonderful time to be here and celebrating that day with you.
Thank you.
So I wanted to tell you that 16 years ago I came to Los Angeles to find my way in show business. And then 14 years ago I found the part of a lifetime. I became the husband and producer for Robin Sachs' Garbose.
It's true.
Right, and there was an agreement here that what we were dedicated
to. A match
to.
Made in Hollywood.
And in 770. Right?
Yeah.
Right? So the situation, what did we learn back then? It says in regard to Kiddush Levana, it says that Levana, that the light of the moon should be equal to the light of the sun. As it was in the beginning. As it was in the beginning, so it should be in the end. Now it's the Chilosam Besofan. And the idea of that, what Robin has dedicated her life to and given all her powers and all her finances, all her reality, is to create a place where women could shine.
That's right.
And that's where Operation Candlelight comes in. And I must say that Robin needs all the help that she can get. that producing these, watching her produce these things, watching her work every day except for Shabbos and Yom Tov, and putting these things together for the benefit of women all over the world is something that takes a tremendous amount of resources. And she needs your help. We need your help producing Operation Candlelight. So I'm saying, where are we right now with the Operation Kickstarter?
We have 10 days to go. We are 24 or 25% funded. We have 74 wonderful, dear backers. Thank you so much. I want to give a couple of shout outs, if I may. Leah Lesserson, who called us up and said, I will commit to getting 10 people to pledge for the $26 category, which is the first run special edition DVD of Operation Candlelight. We need more people to make those kinds of pledges, to get your friends to buy in advance. You will get your DVD months before the general release. What does that mean? It means your daughter is going to be the most popular girl in the neighborhood, because everybody's going to want to be wanting to see the DVD of Operation Candlelight, and she will be the only one who has it. So think about that, if you will. I want to say a special thank you. There were to several of our backers who surprised me. To Goldie Hutler, who, once again, like she did with The Heart That Sings, she composed. Goldie Hutler, young Sudeikis,
bracha for her husband,
and that we should have a bracha for her husband. That her husband, Shmuel Yosef Ben Miriam should have a refuah shalema.
Amen.
And he's a very dear friend of ours, and we wish him well, and a true tzaddik. And what Goldie did was she put a lot of time into composing an incredible email, which she sent off to all of her friends, and I saw several pledges come in from Goldie Hutler's people. Thank you, Goldie. I also want to say, of course, a special thank you and shout out to Dr. Claude Marquis and her husband, Zan. It's always good and comforting to know that there are people in this world who truly appreciate and know the work that you're doing, and have done so many things to enable the production and the production value of Operation Candlelight. First and foremost, of course, having such wonderful, talented children who have been a part of Kol Neshama for years. And in this film, Operation Candlelight, the lead of the film is young Rezi Marquis, who plays Sarah Wasserman, and her performance is absolutely fantastic. So thank you all. Well, Mr. Rebbe Dog.
I just want to say one thing. I wanted to sing one song to my wife here to show how I appreciate her.
Uh-oh.
And the work that she has done.
Okay.
Oh, we ain't got a barrel of money. Maybe we're ragged and funny, but we'll travel along singing our song side by side.
Side by side.
Side by side.